Welcome to Center of Light, where my aim is to always be clear, crystal clear. It's the only way we can reach our destination, our destiny, if you will. The garden. We're going to return to the garden. Innocent, sexy human child you are. Center of Light Power, 3-part series. Last night was Center of Light Power Initiation. I'm going to see who's here first. Hello, Deanie. Send my dad some love. Tony Meharry, glad you're back. Clark Cotton, you are missed, but definitely not forgotten. Dana Trotter, who? Sana. I want to share with everyone an alignment, synchronicity, a miracle, magic, fairy dust. It doesn't matter what you call it. Something special. This is how we understand the language of God. It does show up in many different ways, but it's definitely not English. And we recognize the higher language through coincidences, if you will. Hello, Dana. She says, Yanavaj. Ya, down here. Yanava. Y-N-V. Don't envy anything. Y. There's a circle inside the yolk of a Y. That's the heart. Ya. God. The fire. Creation. Seek ye the kingdom of God within. I am in my Father's in me, and I am in you. Sacred heart. Jesus is always pointing here. And so is his mother Mary. Ya. Na is the mind when we clear, as I use the crystal ball, clarity. And Va is the backbone, being anchored on this earth as a human being, descended from, literally, can't argue with this, above, to carry out the will of your mother, father, in spirit. Alignments, coincidences, synchronicities, serendipities, whatever you call them, show up so spirit can get your attention and say, you heard me for once. Good. Sometimes the alignment is exactly the miracle itself. Sometimes the alignment is simply to say, I got your attention. Last night's presentation, Center of Light Power, Arise, Awake, Unite, was part 1 called Initiation. My friend Dana Trotter posted this in his stream. And it was so on point before I started my presentation. I decided to call her out and recognize her about this beginning, which I didn't know until an hour ago was the beginning of an alignment. And the presentation last night was initiation. We talked about Squirrely Man and money bags and how we live in forgiveness. Let things be as they are. I don't have to change it. God is in control. So when we begin to rock and roll and get on our spiritual groove and roll, Dana decides she's going to make this meme today, which I saw. And it just so happens to be the overview of tonight's presentation. Center of Light Power, Arise, Awake, Unite, Part 2, Integration. I want to grab that. I want to post it. I like anchoring things. And this is a post today. Don't give the wrong people the right pieces of you. Don't give the wrong people the right pieces of you. Hello, Sherry Clemens. Hello, Gail. Hello, Carolyn. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Don't give the wrong people the right pieces of you. And Dana, I'm really digging that you meme a lot. That's really, really cool that you express yourself. That's really wonderful. So tonight we're talking about Center of Light Power, Arise, Awake, and Unite, Part 2, Integration. We talked about the bad people last night. That's the rock stars of today. They're the greatest spiritual teachers that ever walked this earth up until this point, because right now your life is so real, surreal. Is it not? So they have something to say. Right, wrong, in, out, up, down, indifferent, it doesn't matter, it's all irrelevant. That's noise. The truth and the reality is this is being presented to you in your life. So tonight I am presenting this to all of us, including myself, in our lives, so that we can move from initiation, because we understood it last night. And if you have not seen last night's program, you can find it. Facebook, YouTube, just go back. We talked about the bad people. Are they really bad, or are they teaching us the greatest possibility? By knowing how to navigate away from it or champion the mountain, said differently. One and the same. So now we move into the idea of what integration is happening to many people, as well as what it's going to be like for many more people. Initiation is being initiated by wanting to step into the garden. I want to go back home. Not that you want to die, but I promise you, some part of you will have to die for you to ever step your foot across the threshold of the God gate that will allow you into the place, the space, the grace. So initiation is, I'm being initiated. I am stepping forward. I've learned something. I've expanded into something so powerful and beautiful. I want more of that milk and honey. Take me to the other side. So we want to cross the river of Jordan, and that's initiation. Integration is the river is now this deep because I'm moving into the river. The conscious God life stream. God is conscious. It's infinite consciousness. So the closer we get to God, it makes sense to me, the more conscious we become. If God is all powerful, then it makes sense to me. The closer we get to God, the more we are trustworthy and responsible, the more power we get to influence the world to a greater degree. Makes sense to me. If God is all-knowing, then the closer we get to God, the more we know. Hence, people who are psychic, it is real. So the final lesson of this Trinity, how you like that one, is going to be graduation for many, and for many, 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 many more to come, what that experience is going to be like. So initiation is recognizing what this is, why this is, and what it potentially means for each and every person. Oh my God, I am being spoken to by God itself, because God is omnipresent. It's everywhere. So even in the bad people, when we begin to understand an initiation, I'm going to step back and start seeing these people no longer as bad, but more as instrumental and integral to my growth. An begins to happen. A perspective begins to happen. Speaking of perspective, I vesseled this recently. Everyone should take... Here's another serendipity. Here's another alignment for you. I just knew the word perspective, and I vesseled this recently. Initiation, integration is tonight. Graduation will be tomorrow. It's called perspective. Everyone should take the research journey outward, but more so inward, upon themselves. Any and all necessary to help anchor the light of unity, expanding humanity. All capital letters. It is crucial to question everything in today's world. There is a larger agenda at work, and our inquiry must be diligent. I have followed many rabbits into many rabbit holes, and more often than not, all I have ended up with was a handful of disgusting rabbit shit. There comes a time when what we were and are still being taught, programmed, TV is you watch programs, needs a pulled back perspective. In doing so, we can honestly see both polarities at work. When one develops true sight, then one can have a powerful impact for the highest good. These are not only my findings in my ongoing blissful research for the absolute truth, They are also my experiences with divine God realized avatars. Initiation. Integration is not only forgiving what we once recently thought were bad people. Now you're getting your groove really on. You're walking with a confident stride, right? I am invincible. It's not just a mantra. It's not just spiritual cliche nonsense. It goes to this level. And this is the level we're going to be speaking about tomorrow night, graduation. It goes to this level. I am invincible. I kind of get it. Wow. I really get it. It's beginning to integrate, which tonight is, to a level of confidence. I am invincible. That's graduation. God is invincible. Child of God that you are, don't you want to become one with your divine parent? I am invincible. It's confidence. Confidence creates immunity. Hello, Rona, or goodbye, Rona. Confidence. I'm confident. I can walk out here into the world and not get sick. Not because I'm cocky and arrogant and stupid. I have a barometer that exists inside of me, always has, does now, and forever will. And it's that which I join my free will with to unify with divine parent's will. And something begins to happen inside. You just know it. How do you know it? You don't have to explain how you know it. You know it. That is enough. When you begin to live in this posture, you are given immunity. Not only immunity in your body, because immunity in the body is about being strong inside. My immune system is strong, in fact, is how they put it. This applies on all levels, as above, so below, on forever it will go. Yo, from micro to macro. So in order for us to be strong, when we are strong and at that same level of confidence to move into graduation, we're given immunity, a pass into the next world. Look up the word immunity when it applies to legal matters. It's the same thing. You cannot get into the new world otherwise. You cannot get into the new world otherwise. Hello, Jasmine. Hello, Kim. Hello, Kim. Hello, Trudy, Anna, Link, Nathalie, Linda, Sherry. Everyone, I want to say thank you to my dear friend, Mr. Robert Harrison. Never met this beautiful soul. And he's graced me a love offering. And he said, Keith, I want you to take this offering and apply it towards your altar. And it was a very generous offering. So thank you, dude. My son and I went to Kroger today, and I bought these orchids. These orchids are real. Left, right, left. They're all real. I bought some fruit, watermelon. There's some oranges. I have a papaya in the middle. I have some mangoes on the altar you can't see, which is the shelf of the little table. There's more coming. So I'm moving. I'm moving into integration with that which I truly, truly want. Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul is going to be released worldwide, publicly, everywhere on the planet. July 31st, 2020. So I'm beginning to integrate that in my life. I want it. Tomorrow night is going to be about graduation. So initiation is this. And then we're going to continue with the presentation. I want to acknowledge everyone. Dana, Linda. Hi, Linda. Glad you're here. Abigail, Carolyn, Ashki. Hi, Ashki. Kelly, Jasmine, Gail, Nathalie. Initiation. I'll entertain the possibility. I kind of understand it. Integration is tonight's presentation. which is, I really want to move into this experience. I'm going from knocking on the door to literally opening it and stepping across the threshold. That's integration between the old dead world, goodbye Rona, into the new world of graduation. So right now, this is the middle point. Integration. It's the process of taking in the spirit in a way that is in a usable fashion, a way to play with it, really. It's really what it is. It's basically energetic clay that you are able to mold. Picasso or Da Vinci or Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore in Ghost with the pottery wheel. Do whatever you like. But graduation is truly walking with a stride when you're so connected and planted and aligned inside, nothing can touch you. You are invincible. Possibly could be invisible as well to those who do not vibrate in your field. That's why people will leave your life as you will leave theirs. So graduation, what it looks like is not this. Figuratively, what graduation looks like is that. There is no longer Dr. F, Squirrely Man, and BG Moneybags. In fact, you're not even interested in that dialogue anymore. You're not even interested in that conversation. You have truly changed and shifted your agreement with reality or God, however you want to deem it. I get it. I understand that this thing out here is this, and these bad people. And I'm willing to get out of that nonsense. Integration is, now I see it. Graduation is, even telling your friends, family, and or peers, I don't want to even talk about this anymore. Unless it has a valuable point. But when it's ongoing, unconscious rhetoric, I am simply not interested. That is truly moving into the window of graduation as you step over the threshold of the God gate into the garden of forever. That is your divine birthright. That belongs to you. Many people will say, I am content. That's awesome. I'm good. That's awesome. But why not strive for something a little more? And I don't mean more as in a gaining of something. I'm talking about a losing of what you think is yourself to gain everything. Just push yourself, and to turn up that fire, that ya. Let the ya out. Use your na when balanced to make higher choices. And use your backbone, your va, to carry it out simply by being still. You are doing a lot being still. You're creating so much motion and so many vibrational ripples in the cosmic sea when you are more still than you are moving around. Somebody write that down for me. You create greater vibrational ripples into the cosmic ocean when you are still than when you are moving around. Wow. Graduation is this. This is the gate. This is the place. Simple happiness. I don't know how to be happy. Happy is not a knowing how to do. Happiness, bliss, ecstasy, euphoria, nirvana, it's a choice to simply want it. To want to move from initiation through the doorway of integration into the garden of graduation. That is the gig. Wow! Hello, James Church. Hello, Sean Few. My musician brother, Tracy Newbacher, Abigail. So you can gauge yourself by these three components. They will never let you down. They will never let you go astray. Initiation. Tired of the nonsense. You don't have to explain it to anyone. In fact, you don't have to even explain it to yourself. When you get tired of it, you get tired of it. You're just done. Like Gail says, Paige, she says, I'm just done. It's good, but just be done. Yeah, but I still lean on this. Well, just until you're ready to be done, it's okay. Just be done. Initiation. Integration is, I'm really done. Graduation is, in fact, I don't even remember those two previous phases because I phase out of that nonsense completely. That's what we're speaking about in this three-part, this trinity, this series called Arise, Awake, and Unite. When we arise, that's the choice. I have a choice. I can arise. That's the initiation. I'm going to arise. I see, so I'm going to stand up. Kind of see what this is all about. That's arising. I'm choosing to wake up. I'm choosing to open up. I'm choosing to step it up. Awake is a natural byproduct of wanting to step up. It's just a byproduct. Or we can buy products, hoping we feel some sort of bliss to fill the empty space we feel inside. I buy lots of stuff and I love it. But I'm not buying because I have to have. I buy it because I have to have this. I want it. It's cool. I'm not trying to fill a hole. I'm trying to expand my reality of bliss with those things that are designed and given to us to play with on this three-dimensional plane. So, arise, awake, and unite. Unite is the garden gate. It's graduation. You consciously remember your unification with everything that has been created, is created now, or forever will be. It's only one. Arise, awake, unite. From Swamiji. He told me this 2 years ago. And now it's all making sense. But unity also means that we need to arise and awake all together so we can call a spade a spade. Squirrely Man, Dr. F, and BG Moneybags. It's not judgment. You both are knuckleheads and you're causing a bunch of nonsense. Now that we're done with that, we put it aside. This is what I need to do now, knowing, or many other people. This is not just singling these people out. In fact, the one that we need to single out is the single and most solitary individual, and that's myself, because it is my responsibility to arise, awake, and unite, and to go to the next world. Because one, not only do I lift others in the wake of the current that pulls them when I go, it simply just disappears. Because this world will never not exist. In our timeline, this world is never coming back as we move down the timeline. But this old world that we just left is always going to vibrate in the universe forever. And souls will incarnate on this experience. Souls will incarnate in the integration. Some will always find themselves standing in the garden of graduation. So it's truly a choice. Initiation is the choice. Integration is the byproduct. What happens in the integration process is awareness. And in all fairness, when you move to the next phase, graduation, you find yourself planting your feet, your remembering feet, into the garden that you've left so long ago. And you go, oh my God, I remember this place. And then an explosion of light, of memory and conscious recall begins to happen from soul to bones. I've had these levels and these epiphanies many times in my life. I want those for you if you want them. This is truly homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul, is what the divine prophecy has been foretold for thousands of years. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. Blood, sweat, and tears, all my dears. So now we can see things from an integrated point of view, or an integration point of view, as if we're moving into that. Bad people in the world. Okay. Integration means I'm choosing to forgive. And in my forgiveness, I'm not seeing them as so bad anymore. I'm seeing it as, wow, something is being taught to me. And therefore, as a natural byproduct from that, comes grace and forgiveness for that which we think is real in the first place, which is not. And so we arise, we awake, and then we begin to unite. Tonight is the integration. Just simply allowing yourself to look beyond what you have called reality and be willing to ask yourself one simple question. Can I just allow myself for once to see what's happening on the outside as absolute nonsense? Just see it from that place. It's not a judgment. Can I just see it from this perspective to integrate a new possibility that it's just noise. It's simple, just noise and opinions and curses and voodoos and hexes and blessings. And none of that is what you are actually in the first place. You're not even that. You're way beyond all this dynamic of human stutter, utterances. I'm moving into that place. It's a beautiful space. It's full of grace. And it so wants to kiss all of us on our face. I got a taste. I got a taste long time ago, many years. But the taste is not getting bigger. It's just getting better. It's a process of wanting something, of wanting to fall. And it requires you to fall to ever be able to hear your divine parent simply call to you and say, and you actually say, I love having fun. You say hello, and divine parent says,
access granted.
We've always had access. So what we must do is call our parent back, because we missed a call. It went to voicemail. And your mom or dad said, call me when you get a moment. And you go, oh, I heard you. And divine parent says, arise, awake, and unite. I'm moving into that field. And that field I'm referring to has to do with being able to feel. Many of you empaths out there know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what it's like to feel. Sometimes for people of with empathic abilities, they feel too much. So you have to learn how to lean in what feeling capacity, in what feeling base, into the capacity that you can control it. So basically, you actually have a head start above and beyond many people who they can feel, but they just don't have the natural embed, the imprint, the DNA code that allows the empath to, whoa. So you have to learn to navigate that. I'm somewhere in between. Integration. Wanting to step into the garden beyond everything you think is true, false, right, wrong, good, bad, light, dark, holy, blasphemous, possible, or impossible. It's all noise. It's just simple noise. You were taught all this stuff. We don't have to pick and cherry pick everything that we were taught to go, oh my God, I learned this, I learned that. You don't have to do any of that. Just simply look at it and go, all this stuff is not the truth of God at all. None of it. Even in your holy book, it's not the truth of God at all. The truth of God is that. It's being so crystal clear that you allow the absolute divine infinite truth to blow your nonsense out of the way. My nonsense out of the way. It's the task for every spiritual aspirant from any religion, any code, creed, walk, talk, or sect. That's graduation. We can use these things, these books, even this teaching tonight, as a vehicle. It's still noise. How can it not be noise? The divine would step into this experience right now for all of us. This is what would happen. We'll talk about enlightenment. What is enlightenment? It's that joke that you got. When someone told you a riddle, you went, that's enlightenment. When something happens, you go, oh my God. What is that, oh my God? And why do you use those words? Oh my God. Why do we use those words? Seriously, ask yourself that. Why when something magnanimous that we go, oh, it's a wake up, we arise, we awake, and we feel that unity, that unite, as to why we're saying, oh my God, it's because we were being given a flash. If God was to step in this experience for all of us, right here in this moment, in a conscious way, this is what would happen. And after that, during that, that's integration. Because when this happens, this oh my God, this epiphany, this realization, we're left with our shadows. The light always, well, actually the light disperses shadows. Makes them simply vanish. Point in this regard is the light will reveal, you will be revealed your shadow self standing in the presence of the infinite. That's integration. Oh my God. I see. Here's the light, and this is what I've been thinking I was, and it's possible, real, true, false, all of my life, and it's such nonsense. It's noise. We become aware of the infinite. You can never know the infinite. Let me throw a couple of nuggets at you. You can never know the infinite until you know the finite, what we know as ourselves. We can never know the truth fully until we fully see ourselves and use ourselves as the bridge to the truth. You can never see the beauty of the infinite until you recognize the beauty of the infinite that lives in yourself. There is no other path. There is no other path. Now, you may take a path that takes you to that bridge. There is no other path. You can never love your Creator to the level it is deserving of, reverent of, necessary of, until you love yourself enough to open the gate that allows you to flood your system with the river of life, the river of consciousness. You can't do it. There is no other way. There are many ways to that bridge. That is the bridge ultimately everyone must cross. Sometimes it requires faith. Sometimes it requires a drink. Sometimes it requires to think. Sometimes it requires this and that. But when it begins to require the this and the that's too often, then we need to put the this and the that's down. Because it brings us more to a sealed coffin, physically in life, as well as closing the coffin of consciousness. Dear Lord, putting the final nail into the coffin of consciousness. It's the last thing any of us want. We can never understand the abundance of the absolute until we see ourselves as fulfilled with the tree of life in abundance. Then by natural law, God says, you can have it. You're welcome, Dana. Hi, Tony Love. Tony Love, getting back in touch with me, please. I haven't forgot about you. I've just been busy. Contact me. Send me an inbox after this presentation or tomorrow, and we'll talk about getting you on Center of Light. How's that? Hello, Robert. Robert, thank you again for this beautiful altar. Thank you. Tony Meharry said, Jesus would say, oh, my dad. You know, Tony, I actually, in my prayers, call God Dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, Janie. Hey, Dad. Hey, Janie. Hey, Kristen. See? All right, let's keep moving on. That's the gate. There is no other gate. I say this in fragments many different times. But it all brings us back to the bridge. It's a simple bridge. In fact, it's not even a rock star bridge. It's not like the Mississippi River Bridge here in Memphis. It's not like the Brooklyn Bridge. It's not all that structured. In fact, it's a simple old everyday looking little wooden bridge. Kind of rickety, in fact. But in its ricketiness, it's actually quite beautiful, isn't it? That's what makes it beautiful. It's a town, a country town, way in the woods. There's this little rickety wooden bridge that crosses. And it's beautiful because there's rushing, beautiful, life-giving water moving in that river, in that ravine. So it becomes a test of faith. And all your friends who live in this town have been crossing this bridge since they were children. Children crossing the bridge, being innocent children. And you come to visit, and they say, cross the bridge, and you're not sure what to do, because it looks to you a little bit too rickety, a little bit too creaky, as I cross this creek. And they just get on the bridge, and the bridge wobbles, right? That's called integration. The bridge is wobbling. Before lockdown, the bridge was still. We don't want the bridge to be still. Though we do have become comfortable, we like the comfort of the bridge being still. Still and all, that's really not what you want. That world's dead. Because that still bridge is not moving anymore. In fact, it's gone. So now, right now, we're in integration. The bridge is moving. It's wobbling because the children ran across the river, Jordan, into the garden. And they didn't care how it wobbled. They know how to dance on it. They've been doing it since they were children. And now they say, come on across, the water's fine. And they say, come on. And you go, and you're holding onto the ropes like this. That's called faith. While everyone else is saying, they're laughing at you because the joke's on you. As I mentioned, the joke, the aha, it's on you. Everybody across the river, living in the garden, having a blast, waiting on you to bring your slow, procrastinating ass across the river and come into the garden. And after you cross the bridge and you do it 3 or 4 times, 5 times, if it takes that many, you realize how the bridge dances and sways. So now you just gallivant across the bridge like everybody else. That's called moving into graduation. And when you get into the new world, the bridge no longer exists. Why does the bridge no longer exist? Because never would you look back at the bridge you crossed to get into the new world. In fact, it will simply disappear because you don't need it anymore. Why would it have to exist if you're in the garden and you plan to stay there forever? Why would the bridge have a purpose to exist ongoingly? It doesn't. So the universe is smart. It knows how to conserve energy. So because it no longer needs to exist for you, it would simply dissipate. Initiation, getting out of the bullshit. I'm wanting to get out of this bullshit. Even my own inner bullshit, because it's all a reflection of your own inner bullshit. And when you finally say bullshit, when you step, that's the 50% mark from where you are. I'm done. I love religion. I love this. I love that. I love this. I love that. That is not in alignment with where I'm going. Then you step into integration. Where I'm going could include all those things that were just named. But what I want is that which creates everything, it sustains everything in the universe. So the things I've been pigeonholing myself to as my salvation, it's part of that, but it's only a small fragment of infinity. God is everything. And if we want to truly marry and be with our divine parent, we have to accept that these are only instrumental, integral, definitely integral, part that has brought me to this part of my life to where I'm willing to jump off the bridge and take everything I believe with me to the absolute truth of what is that thing, the it of it all, that permeates this life, this body right now. that allows me to hear, that allows me to speak, that allows me to eat. That is integration. Graduation is no more bridge, living in the land of milk and honey. Because the world is not about seeing anymore. The world is about freeing and being. You're a human being. So we now need to be that. We don't need to look back because now we're graduating. Which is, we look back and go, wow, what a beautiful world and a beautiful fun time that was. That's called death. But everlasting life is, that was all just a story I believed in. So it dissipates, it disappears. When you are with parent, fully, ongoingly, for eternity, you may look back, if that's such a thing, on the time you were on earth as whoever, and go, ha! What a joyride that was. Total different reality. Total different play of words. It takes you to a total different space inside, doesn't it? It brings you to the possibility of the truth. And the only thing that'll take us from initiation, integration, and into our divine birthright, well-deserved graduation, is practicing, implementing, living these models that I've been bringing forth. You can take Jesus with you. In fact, he's the one probably pulling you. You can take Swamiji with you because he's the one probably pulling you. They're all been pulling. These awakened illumined ones that come to earth because you are loved beyond measure by your divine parent. It says, I will never leave you alone. And I don't mean I won't ever leave you by yourself. I will never leave you alone. I'm going to pick on you. I won't leave you alone. I'm going to full catch you. That is the unconditional parent. It loves you. Your mother might like to spank you on your hiney. Your dad might like to just, please don't do that. Or vice versa. So these different aspects of God are all beautiful, necessary. In other words, someone says something nasty to you, you understand nasty, don't you? So it makes sense. Someone says something beautiful to you, you understand beautiful. So it makes sense. We're always being talked to all the time. In every way, any shape, form of fashion. And when we fashion ourselves, imbue ourselves, incorporate ourselves into these ideas, these truths. It's not these truths. That's the thing. I throw these truths out as if there's many. That's not the absolute truth. There are ways to the bridge. But when you cross the bridge, when you jump the ridge, there's only one truth. And it exists everywhere, including yourself. It's the stuff in the head, as I have always said, that will never simply let the real you become the child of God in consciousness. If God is omnipresent, all scripture speaks about that. And if that is the absolute truth, you cannot dance your way out of this corner until you get the aha, the integration, center of light power, arise, awake, unite, integration. And in the aha, now you're 51% over the bridge, walking to the land of Jordan. This world is not going to change unless we change. And when we change, the world becomes us. We don't become the world. Becoming the world means I am an individual because I'm becoming what the world has told me, my parents, my religious leaders, government, law enforcement, this, that. And so we become formed into these ideas, and some of them are beautiful ideas. And even the ugly ideas are actually beautiful because they're all purposeful to bring us to the bridge. Graduation happens when you step. And it happens. It just happens. The universe says, I got your attention now. And so these alignments, these synchronicities, these miracles I spoke about earlier, become normal, common occurrences when you understand what the language sounds like. And it doesn't sound like English. And you need this to hear it. And you need that to see it. Suddenly through the silence, the new world appears. Graduation. being infused with your divine maker so much. Listen to this. You want to be with your divine parent in a conscious, illumined way so much that what you know as you becomes shattered. Wow. Wanting to be with your divine maker with such heartfelt, sincere passion that you're willing to jump into the divine fire and have what you know as you completely die. That's called resurrection. And in all my affection, I hope I'm infecting the living shit out of you because I love you. I'll be right back. Let's see what we're going to play. Some Lavender Soul, my friend Bernard Dessette. What a phenomenal singer. We're going to start working on a new album. I'm going to start working on a new album next week. I got some recording gear coming. Tony Meharry, I'm coming for you. How about some Lavender Soul? Perfect in every way. How can you not be? Can that which is perfect create anything imperfect? It's impossible. So now it's called taking responsibility. I need to shape myself up. See Charlie.
Celebrate. There's a time to love and a time to trust and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you
Welcome back to the center of light. I want to change the music. How magical is that? I use my will to do that, y'all. Welcome to the center of light. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. Yanava, Yah, heart, God, that fire, the eternal divine fire. Do you aspire for that? We have to move to the Na, the mind. Yanava, Yanava. Ancient sacred seed syllables of the divine self, the soul, at its highest point. Yah, God, heart. Na, mind, when used, balance. Using the mind instead of it using you and making you a slave. Ooh, ah, ah, the monkey. Ooh, 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 ooh. What we were taught. Va, carrying out our divine parents' will. I'm going to go inside, see what happens. I want to change the music. Let's try this. Welcome to Center of Light. Power. Arise, awake, unite. Tonight. And in all delight. I love what I do so much. It brings me so much joy. That is the catalyst. I'm crossing that bridge. And whoever you are doing whatever you do, when you do it to the level that you see standing before you, it ain't about me, it's actually about you. I'm just a mirror saying, arise, awake, unite. That center of light lives right here. That which lives inside of me creates worlds and universes. Chew on that stick of dynamite. Whoa, is it really that close? It always has been. When we understand who walks beside us, we will never be afraid ever again. That's right there. It's simple and it's an attitude shift. It's not an unlearning. It can be, that will work. Let's take it the long way. Just shift. Just shift. Well, don't worry about how. Just use your will, your fire. That what is that in you? Do you ever use that in you, that that push, that fire through the mind? And then 3D reality says, hello. And now the garden, we manifest heaven on earth. Not only we pull heaven down, so to speak, and it begins to anchor on the earth. Hence the heaven on earth prophecy. We have to become heaven on earth. And when we move that light through a clear, purified mind, the world out here simply says, welcome to the romantic movie versus a horror flick. We can either sing the love song or the blues. It's all what we choose. I'm going inside. I want to share with you what it feels like when I do this. I'm definitely not afraid. I've been doing it a long time. There's no demon in there trying to get me. There's no coronavirus out there trying to get me. My divine parent loves me. And you. So I let go. I just allow it to happen. I don't try to figure something out. I don't try to figure something in. I just let it sit there. And I've learned to simply be with it and allow it to use me. God, make me a channel of your peace is my spirit's intention as I intend to go into the garden. Let's see how it plays out. It feels, oh, wow. This is not for dramatic effect. I'm using dramatic words to truly affect you. It felt like something draped me. Actually, both. You see, it's not limited. It was a draping, but I also felt something, feel me here, and my face expanded. So it feels like I'm being superimposed upon, literally imposed upon, but superimposed upon supernatural. That which is so super, it's the naturalness of all things. Spirit speaks to you now and says, God is the natural state of everything. God is the natural state of everything. Everything else is noise. God is the natural state of everything. Everything else is noise. I feel a fire, beautiful fire. It's purifying me inside. It makes me want to be in this space and never leave. I feel human. I feel divine. I feel trusting of myself. I feel worthy. As tears begin to well up in my eyes, as a river begins to move in my heart, I begin to experience the garden because I want it. It's simply there. It always has been for each and every one of you. You just overshot your target, dear ones. Look again, but don't look so hard. Soften your gaze, step back. Take a God-delicious, life-giving breath and simply let it appear. Don't squint. Don't use a magnifying glass or a microscope or a telescope even. Simply let that scope of this experience just show up for you. It's quite delicious, spiritually nutritious. You get to see something. Because trust me, the new world is not about a seeing at all. And the way you are going to be able to see what is being shared with you is when you feel. See what I mean? That's the deal. That's what's real. It's a shift. It's an attitude shift. How? There is no how. It's about wanting it right here, right now, every minute, every second, every hour. You have to be willing to put aside what you were and be that what you are. Ongoingly, infinitely. That's the key to being in the gate. Ongoingly, infinitely. Use that key to unlock, unleash, release, fall, hear the call. One and all, Spirit implores you as we offer you what you've always been claiming you have always wanted. Somehow you've always seemed haunted. And this daunting task, so you think it is, but it's not. At all. You've all tried so hard. So hard. But it's easy. How easy is it, in fact? You have to learn to be easy on yourself and everyone else. There is no other way. Sounds arrogant? Good. You understand arrogance. Still in all, the message has been delivered. It's a seed planted which contains the possibility of infinite forests. That's called infinity. You came from your father's seed through your mother's womb. Your father's divine seed through the cosmic womb. Through this gate you arise, awake, and now you hope to unite. Then do just that. Do simply just that. How? There's no how. It's just being. Simply just being in that place. Why? Because you can and you want it. It is so freeing there. The grace is like a brand new born baby sister. It's pink, fuzzy, soft, delicate, dainty, fairy-like, angelic-like, cherub-like. That's called the space of the Christ. Where all your woes and wounds are simply attended to. They become healed. You understand? If you understand that, then stand under that. Allow it to consume you as it will spiritually, lovingly, and gracefully groom you And then you become a part of the loom of life itself. As the greatest potential self has so been wanting to step through what you know as you and plant its divine lotus feet on your mother's good earth. But it requires you to feel that worth. And simply the gate opens. Like a flower. What the vessel is feeling selfishly, he wants to stop talking, which is wonderful. He just wants to be in the garden, which he deserves, as well as all of you. Everything you believe is just that. It's something you believe when Spirit tells you, you know nothing. Be willing to know everything through relinquishing all of your nothing that you know. And soon you will simply grow as a byproduct. You will expand into the cosmic field of awareness. This is the dance that is happening on the great stage of earth, as Tony said last night. Basically, you become the Spielberg of the movie versus being caught up in the drama itself. You get to direct, you get to produce. What are you producing? What kind of fruit are you producing? Service is the highest calling. Be of service to someone or everyone every day as much as you can and to whatever level of passion that you can muster. Your vibration will lift, your world will lift, and you will lift those around you. The garden. Tomorrow night, the vessel is going to speak about center of light power, arise, awake, unite. Phase 3, the Trinity, where hopefully we can take you to a greater place that you can see more clearly, more dearly, and that which is always nearly to you. Graduation. What is it like to be in a graduated state? It's happening before your very eyes as you see the vessel speak, share, output, want to be with you on levels that he himself does not understand yet. But he's trying. Passionately, sincerely, humbly, and vulnerably. And gracefully, you will follow suit from other teachers. The Christed One has planted his feet on this earth again. You heard me correctly. The Christed One is alive on your earth again today. Just store that somewhere. Just keep it there. Rather, keep it here. You are loved beyond measure. You are a beautiful treasure in this world that is so dark. But the darkness of that world is something you describe, you understand, you ascribe to, so it makes sense to you. But that's not the world you are in your quarantine, as you ironically unite being separate. How is that possible? Welcome to the new world. Peace, love, and light on this beautiful night. You are loved beyond measure. Don't let anyone ever fool you. Ever. About what you're capable of. What you're worth. And your appreciation will only go up into you when you learn how to invest. Isn't that the stock market? Take stock in this. And you will receive all the sustenance from the spiritual supermarket when you travel the road of Highway 1. The highway to hell will never get you there. You have to have focus, power. It's like a magnifying glass in the sun. It burns a new reality into existence. Likewise, we need to burn all the paper trails with this magnifying glass. Lighting paper on fire with a magnifying glass and the sun, the S-U-N. But when you have, listen to this, I feel it. When you have that very said magnifying glass and you use the S-O-N, the Christ, the Son, likewise, as above, so below, on forever it will go. a new reality is burnt into existence. And it will burn the paper trails we leave behind, and a new script will be wrought. And you will find yourself brought into this beautiful place where you've never left truly. You've never left there. You think you're going back there? You're not going back there. You're opening up to there. You couldn't exist on this earth if you were not there extending this light source, which is 98.6 degrees of radiating light. Because if you weren't light, people could see you. It's an attitude shift. It will lift you higher. My dear friend, I love you beyond measure. Arise, awake, unite. I'll see you tomorrow night. Graduation.